Hi. So my interview with Miss Wheeler, was pretty great in the sense that I got a lot of insight into what kind of time really goes into that job. You don't really get a sense of how much of yourself you put into a human resource position, management, or whatever level you're at until you're actually sitting in front of them and you're looking at just the enormity of how they have to juggle employees, um, putting people in the right positions, making sure that when issues do arise, that they have to settle them immediately. So they're always getting pulled in one way, one direction or another. And I found it interesting in how that's always something that they're navigating. And so I asked Miss Wheeler, is that something that you take home with you? Because there's got to be a time where you've got to shut it off. And I think that it becomes a more of about just it's your disposition is managing people, managing and negotiating, helping and giving always because of your want to better of the betterment of society, betterment of your coworkers, your staff, your colleagues. And so I found it pretty interesting on just really learning the amount of time that is dedicated to such a field. If you're getting out of the bottom line is that you get out of it what you put into it. And it sounds like with her, she's been doing in the field of nutrition and health, she's been doing that forever. And so now that she's sort of integrated into her, I guess, repertoire is her ability to manage the human resource aspect of it. A lot about another thing that I asked her about was what exactly does it feel like to know that when you do have to create the termination phase or somebody that's just simply struggling so badly that you can kind of predict where they're going, even though you've done all you can. And I think that what happens from what I gained from what she was talking about is that you become very invested in not just the career that you have or standing up for and behind the company that you are working for, because you want the best, you want that company to flourish. So you want the best people in the best positions. And sometimes people squeak by, and sadly, now you're having to deal with it. So it's almost like a reflex from having something done that's out of your control. And a lot of what she said is that she walked into an understanding that it's like you're going to be cleaning up somebody else's job, because a lot of people that maybe aren't in it, they're just kind of burned out, get to a place where they just don't care anymore. And so the hiring process just becomes whatever. Or people being in positions, even management positions, are kind of like, yeah, whoever, just filling bodies. And so now you have to deal with that. She also talked about language barriers, not being able to communicate efficiently. And I can imagine how that would be a challenge. Uh, she herself has a disability in regards to, she had a brain aneurysm when she was 20, and so her left side, her arm and stuff works. She can't feel it, but her leg is pretty much non-responsive. So she has to deal with people on that level too sometimes, and it sounds like she is very cognitive of not letting that be, you guys are going to be my favorites, because she's obviously invested in that as well, because she has a personal stake in that. I think overall, I think it was a really positive interview. I spent a lot of time just sort of absorbing a lot of what she had to go through to get where she was at, and I think that it was pretty amazing. So I walk away from that saying to myself, human resource, it's a pretty badass position, and it's also something that I would love to be able to do, and not just as something just to sort of experience. I see that as maybe a possible long-term thing. I think that it can go in with anything that we do. It has a place at the table. So, anyway, thanks.